Back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host Eduardo, and I'm here with my co-host Edward. What's up, Edward?
Hey Ed.
What's up? What's up, man? Um, Week 13 of the NFL happened literally yesterday. Today's Monday while we're recording this episode. Um, what's your thoughts on Week 13? Any takes? Anything before we get started? What stood out to you?
Uh,
What stood out to you?
what stood out to me is that the Patriots are a terrible team, and I still have questions as to why your team couldn't even score a touchdown against them. So
Uh,
what does that say about the LA Chargers?
I mean they suck. I mean the pay. I mean the Patriots suck like even more. But like the fact that we couldn't even the only we only scored field goals, like two field goals, only 6.60, like a baseball game, soccer game. Like it's like the Jets scored more points than us. The Jets scored 8 points. They lost, but they scored 8 points. We only scored six against a shitty Patriots team. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they inclement weather. Who knows? I mean, I'm just waiting when Brandon Staley gets fired. Um, so we'll see. There's a lot of rumors speculating, possibly new head coach. I don't know. Ben Johnson from the Lions. I don't know. Jim Harbaugh. Depending what happens with him and his suspension in Michigan. But who knows? Yeah, but my team sucks. I don't. Even though we won, I didn't even watch. I barely watched the game. To be honest, it was boring. As much as I'm a fan, it was just like, well, this game is boring. I'm not gonna watch it. Um,
I mean, you guys are still in the hunt, I think.
I guess we'll get into the playoff picture how it is all started, but I guess we're in the hunt. I mean, in December we should be balling, but 6 points, come on, it's not enough. But I mean, my take is I think the San Francisco 49ers are like the best team right now in the NFL. I don't see anybody else beating them, and yeah, so let's just move on. Let's get to it, to the game that everybody was waiting for, 4 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. It was the San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles, a rematch of the NFC Championship game, which anybody that didn't know what happened, Brock Purdy got out. They were on their fourth quarterback, and then McCaffrey became like the backup, I guess the quarterback during that game, and the Eagles ended up winning it and going to the Super Bowl. And so
Yeah, the
this
injury bug pretty much took over that game, and the Niners, they definitely had it marked on their calendar for this rematch and felt like they had some unfinished business.
and then not just like even like so Debo Samuel, he was during like that Super Bowl weekend, they kind of I think he was doing interviews and all that stuff. They're basically saying like, they should have been there. And then I guess another interview he said like they asked about Bradbury and he said he's trash. So everything was already lining up. Even prior before the week of the game, the Niners were talking, and then yesterday they all came pregame. They just all wore black. Like they were coming down there. They meant business, wearing all black, like for the Eagles funeral, and they backed up the talk. They backed it up. They just destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles. They demolished them. They did anything that they could have done. They demolished the Eagles.
Yeah, them Bay Area boys were not scared to step into them Philly streets.
No, man. Like you can even see a pregame how the Niners the players were going in and they just passing through them, and then the little fight they had before the game. Debo wearing the black Air Forces cleats, like he meant business. The team meant business. They know that if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, they would have been in the Super Bowl, and who knows, they probably would have won because at that time they were the best team. They were hot, but they meant business. They don't forget.
Yeah, he had the right footwear. I believe the kids are calling that standing on business.
Yep, yep, yeah. But let's talk about it, man. Like it didn't look good. I mean, the beginning, like the Eagles they were getting there. They got to the red zone. They just didn't convert, and they had two field goals. They were up 6-0. And then the second quarter happened, and then the Niners were just rolling. Like that the Niners got there, then they touchdown pass to Ayuk, which he made an unbelievable catch, which they had to double check if he even like kind of like didn't have full control of the football, but he did, and they were up 7-6 at that time.
7-6.
Yeah, and then after that, it was just McCaffrey scores a second touchdown. He always scores, and then but Debo, like I said, he was from that black Air Forces cleats that he wore pregame. He was just in the zone. He was locked in. 3 touchdowns he scored. The yards, like the yards after the catch that he does, he's like amazing. Like that's why they when he was trying to get paid, they're using him as a running back. He's a wide receiver. He's multiple. There you go. The
He's a
yards
big
after,
key. He's a big key in that offense.
yeah, the yards after the catch that he did. Like rushing, he had 3 carries for 22 yards and then 1 touchdown, and then he had 4 catches for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then one of them he just breaks the tackles and then just all speed, man. But I mean, what's your thoughts on the game? Like,
I mean,
do you think the Niners this game was like they're the best team in the NFL? They're the best team in the NFC after this game. So not only did they beat the Eagles who have the best record, but they also previous weeks they demolished the Cowboys too, and the Cowboys had the best defense too. So does that make them do you think they're the best team in the NFC despite their record? Despite their record right now, I think they're 8, 9, and they're 9-3, 9-3,
yeah,
9-3,
9-3.
9-3.
I would say, yeah, at this point in time,
But
they
who's
probably are
stopping them?
That's a good question. Because if you want to make the argument, yeah, the Cowboys probably are. They're also the best team in the NFC.
Mhm.
But I think I'll have the stat in front of me, but don't they? I think they kind of have like the best record against teams that aren't even 500.
Yeah,
They're going
they're.
against teams that aren't 500.
I guess they're. Well, they still got to play so the Cowboys. They got to play the Eagles next.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the Detroit Lions. So I guess those are the 2 teams that they potentially will see in the playoffs. But I mean, yeah, like you said, like they haven't played real competition. The Eagles they have the best record, but they haven't looked they just find ways to win. Now, obviously, they just find ways to win. They haven't been playing well, but they just find ways to win. I think this game just really said it. Kind of showed where both teams are, and like I said, the Niners are the best team. They're on a mission. They want to get to that Super Bowl, and kind of show everybody they should have been in the Super Bowl last year, and potentially they could have won it. But like Brock Purdy again, like couple in the beginning of the season, MVP possibly. Then he didn't play that well. Now I think he's leading the race. He's favored in the MVP race right now, and he's showing it. He completed 19 passes for 9 for 27, 314 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think him and Dak probably right now in the lead right now. I think Jalen Hurts probably fell behind, but I mean Brock Purdy's playing really, really, really good football right now.
You say that, but you can also throw Tyreek Hill into the MVP discussion.
But
I know in the past I said it's probably a quarterback award, but Tyreek, this dude's just on another level.
I mean, like that we all know, everybody knows it's a quarterback award, and obviously the quarterback is the most important position on the team. But like you said, Tyreek, he's just a game changer. I think he had another like 2 touchdowns, 100 and plus yards. I don't know, even 150 yards. The Commanders they didn't guard they didn't even guard him. Like literally, like I think one was like 60-yard touchdown. He did whatever he wanted over there. But like you said, I think him, McCaffrey too should be in the discussion. But we all know it's a quarterback award, and right now Brock Purdy's I think leading the race right now and is favored to win it. But what are your thoughts on the Eagles? I mean, I think they should be fine. But what are your thoughts on the Eagles? Jalen Hurts, I think he had he went to the blue tent, had a concussion protocol. He passed and they came back. Like, what's your thoughts on the Eagles after watching this game? The
I
defense
thought
still.
so. The Eagles, they're still in good position to pretty much advance in the playoffs because they only sit at 10-2. And this game against Dallas, regardless of records, like both teams are performing well. It's still a rivalry game. So I still think they're going to bring some of that same energy they had against the Niners towards Dallas. So, hey, some words can be said, some fists can be flown. You never know, but they're gonna have to bring their A game if they're gonna have to go against Dallas.
No, for sure. And then this is a point game because if Eagles drop another game and then Dallas wins, I don't know, they would tie the matchup, like the season matchup that they have. But I don't know who would lead, who would be on top of the division. But that's a key game, especially for home field advantage. I think they playing in Philadelphia, it's a great advantage. Nobody really wants to play there. I mean the Niners don't even care. They'll play wherever they want because they're just that good. But yeah, it's gonna be a great game. In Dallas, what is it? Sunday Night Football. Finally, a good primetime game because these primetime games lately have been sucking.
I mean,
They've been all right, some of them.
primetime game this week was pretty interesting.
So 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 now moving forward to the Chiefs and Packers. Like you said, the primetime game. This was the Sunday night game. What's going on with the Chiefs, man? They they lose another game. Now, here's my question to you: is it more on the Chiefs, like they lost, they haven't been playing well, or Jordan Love, like what he did? He's kind of showing like he's that guy now. Now it's kind of showing me like the Packers fans. This is why we moved on from Aaron Rodgers. We saw something in him. Now it's showing me why they moved on from Aaron Rodgers, and now, like, because it didn't start that great, and there was a lot of noise, like, oh, he's not the guy or something like that. They didn't start that great, but
You can
he has
see
really
that
improved.
Jordan Love's progressively getting better. I said that like the post Aaron Rodgers Packers aren't a good team, and even though they're 6-6, what I think the main focus is now, like you can see Jordan Love's growth and development, and
And
he's feeling
confidence.
he's more confident to run the offense. So Matt LaFleur is doing a good job at helping him out, and the receivers are stepping up too.
The receivers, like he just confident into them, like Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson. Like he is very confident in them. I think the second touchdown to Christian Watson, he just throws it up there and Christian Watson just grabs it up and he scores. I think he's become more confident in the receivers. The receivers are confident in him, and this team is rolling. They're rolling. And it's good time to get hot right now in the season and start winning and playing the best football you are in December because it's going to lead into the playoffs. And the Chiefs, like, they
I
usually
mean, the
do,
Chiefs are still sitting at eight and
but
four.
but that's the thing. I think I heard earlier. We always say they'll figure it out. It's the Chiefs. They'll figure it out. We always say that. So I think this season just I don't know what it is about this season. I don't know. Obviously, the receivers are still having trouble. They're not connecting. The communication not there. They're dropping balls. I mean, Travis Kelce had 4 catches for 81 yards, no touchdowns. Pacheco, he had a great game, 18 carries for 110 yards and 1 touchdown. But you know, but like this all could have. We would keep talking different about the Chiefs if they would have won the game and that call, the pass interference on MVS was called the pass interference in the what is it like 40 seconds left in the game, 30 seconds left in the game, that pass interference call, which was pass interference, right? Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But you can even say that before that play that roughing the passer on Mahomes, like he wasn't even out of bounds yet. He was still in play. So
it wasn't roughing the passer. I think it was just unnecessary roughness because he was
no,
just
yeah,
going out of bounds.
unnecessary roughness. It was unnecessary roughness, but he was just going out, but he wasn't out of bounds yet. And so I think a lot of like Packers were like, what the heck? But obviously the Chiefs are always gonna get, some calls in their favor. but that one didn't go their way and they lost the game. But like, if the Chiefs have to play a road game in the playoffs, like we never see Mahomes. Like I said last week, we never see Mahomes do that. Is he capable of doing it? Yes, because Mahomes' greatness, we can't doubt. We can never count Patrick Mahomes. He's great. Like,
I think I may or may not have this right, but I think this might have been the first game he's lost in the month of December.
and the Packers are Matt LaFleur are undefeated in December. I think they're like 16-0 or something, or six. I'm not sure what the stat was, but I know they were undefeated. But for the most part, because of Aaron Rodgers, but Matt LaFleur was undefeated in the month of December. But do you think? I mean, like everybody said, like, do you think that the offense will start clicking? Because remember, this is the best defense that Mahomes has had in his time in Kansas City. Because it's always been the offense always been rolling, but it's it's the defense that you know was their kind of like their weakness. But now it's the other way around.
I still can't count out Mahomes, but I think yes, this team's still going to get to the playoffs. Uh, I believe it's just that I don't know if Mahomes carries them or really just like their struggles in the red zone
Mm-hmm.
because the Chiefs, I feel like they just know how to turn it up when it counts the most. So when it comes time to the playoffs, if they have Andy Reid doing the play calls and I guess him and Kelsey just kind of still figure out the rapport.
But the other receivers really have to step up. The other like MVS, Tony, Rashid Rice, like those guys got to step up because at any moment during the playoffs, their name has to be called and they're gonna have to show up in the big moments. So that's the thing with them because the defense has played really well. Kelsey's always going to be Kelsey, but let's say one of the games they're just going to guard Kelsey, and Kelsey this is not his game, so somebody else got to step up. So, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we always say the Chiefs will figure it out. Let's see if they figure it out. Like you said, we can't count on Patrick Mahomes. He's right now the best quarterback in the National Football at the face of the NFL. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's move on. What the heck happened to your Steelers?
Two rain delays and terrible weather in Acrisure.
But I mean, the Cardinals also had to play in that, so Matt Canada's not there. So who's to blame now? You guys won for 10 points. Oh, so let's Kenny Pickett got hurt. Unfortunately, nobody wants to see that. No, like any player to get hurt. He is ruled out for Thursday's night game.
Yes.
Thursday's game against the Patriots. It will be Mitch Trubisky. But what the heck happened to the Steelers? Like I kind of saw a little bit of the game. They were kind of rolling. They were doing well. But what happened?
It's obviously easy to point fingers, but Mike Tomlin was very blunt in his post game presser. He said he played JV football and it just can't. Yeah, early on, once Kenny was making plays and he was throwing it before he got hurt, but when your quarterback goes down, the game plan kind of changes up. So what I've been noticing, even with their losses, it's just coming down to execution. Yeah, they got a touchdown in garbage time, but obviously the game was just out of reach. So yeah, they're still 7-5. They're going against the local Patriots.
But this game should have been I guess a win in the schedule because I mean they're playing at that moment they were the 2-9 Cardinals. It was at home. The defense plays well. You know,
I mean, I live in reality. The Steelers do have a game that they're always favored to win, but they can always find a way to maybe they're granted at least one game where like they're in position to win, but they might find a way to lose. So I'm not ready to jump out the window yet.
I mean,
it is what it is. We move on. We got a short week.
You guys got the Patriots. They stink too. So hopefully you probably score more points than we did, 6 points. But like, I don't know, man. I honestly like I don't want to see the Steelers team in the playoffs because just for the not like just because like they don't play that well. So it's just like, do I really want to watch poor like bad football? Like I don't want to see that. But
Excuse me.
like I
Kenny, he's not on IR. He's just gonna get time to rest, and we just had to lean on Mr. Mitch Trubisky.
I mean, he's been in the playoffs. He's experienced, so you never know. You can't count him out. We'll see. They definitely got to run the ball though. Run the football. Obviously with Najee and Jalen Warren. And the
Like
defense really.
they were. This game could have maybe worked in our favor, but hey, the Cardinals came to play. They did stuff Najee on that goal line stand.
Oh yeah, they stopped them. They had them. But yeah, they'll currently the Steelers sit fifth in the playoff picture.
If the
Um,
season were end, would be going against the Chiefs.
no, um, but this was a huge loss because the if they would have won, the Browns lost, so they went to 7-5 to the Colts won, so they're 7-5 also, but they got the Texans, which the Texans beat the Broncos. Texans are in the hunt right now. They're in eighth currently. I would want the Texans to go in the playoffs. I want to see CJ Stroud. I think that's the way they played. I think the Texans should make the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs. But then you still got the Broncos who played well. Even though they lost, they're still 6-6. The Bills, we never know. They're on a bye week. So that spot for that spot, like even like the fourth spot, because the Chiefs are 8-4.
Yeah, the Bills' next game is in Arrowhead. They're going against the Chiefs.
So that's going to be a very interesting game, a must win for both, because the Bills need to win to stay in the playoff hunt, and then the Chiefs are trying to win to get home field advantage. So we'll see what happens there. In the NFC, like we said, the Eagles are still 10-2, they're first. The Niners are 9-3 in second. The Lions, which they can't play defense or they can't hold the lead or anything like that. I think they were up and then somehow the Saints caught up. So I don't know. Even though the Lions they've been playing really good football, I don't know. I just see them possibly getting out of the first round. I don't know. I just can't trust their defense. The offense is explosive, but their defense is
I
awful.
think maybe it's more like I heard what you just said about the Lions, but maybe it's a problem more with the Saints' offense.
But remember that
Uh,
the Lions almost lost to the Bears too. So the defense is pretty bad. And then the who else beat them? I forgot. Oh, the Ravens like demolished them too. So
oh
um
yeah,
so we'll see. We'll see. That's why I still think that the Lions, I don't know. Even though they're a great football team and I really like the Lions, I just don't trust their defense. So they're sitting third right now. So we'll see right now though. It's the playoffs are December's these games are huge, especially in the for the playoffs. So these last couple of weeks of football is going to be very, very interesting. Um, any last words? Any last thoughts? Did you see the college football game? The
uh,
Alabama Georgia?
no, I didn't have a chance to catch it.
No, that was a great game. But yeah, a lot of controversy over this in that playoff selection thing, which I never really understood. Like that whole like playoff, like selecting who gets there, and because there's some undefeated teams. I don't really understand it, but who knows?
I
That thing is
mean, now we're in bowl season, so now it gets more and more interesting.
so we'll see. It's Alabama, Michigan, and then what is it? Washington versus Texas. Yeah, Texans. I say Alabama wins, and I say Washington beats Texas because I really like Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah,
I've been
I think
watch the Washington Huskies. I've been watching their games. I really like Michael Penix Jr. Though I like the way that he plays, and those two Oregon games that he played really well.
it's Penix Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr. No, wait, is it Penix Jr. or just Penix?
But yeah, Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr., Marvin Harrison Jr., Bo Nix, and Quinn Ewers are the finalists for the Heisman.
For me, I've always been just give it to Michael Penix Jr. But we'll see what happens. With college football, you don't really know anything like that. But I still say Alabama. I think at the end of the day, Alabama wins the national championship. Somehow they got in. I mean, they beat Georgia. They beat the best team in the country for whatever. So I think Georgia was undefeated. I don't know how many games. So I think they'll win the national championship. But yeah, that's all for today's episode. We'll be back next episode with football next week 14 and possibly NBA. You know, it's the end season tournament, like the quarterfinals or something like that. Playoffs, if I'm not
Still not
mistaken.
sure how that's working or how like NBA is marketing the whole thing.
I thought
It
it
was
would have
like
been. I thought it
we
would have
just
been
like
longer.
basketball, man. We just like hoops.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll be back in the next episode. Stay tuned. See ya. Peace.
Goodbye.